presentation is about systems thinking. It's based on Senge's book, The Fifth Discipline, The Art and Practice of the Learning Organization. Because our world is becoming more and more complex, Senge recommends to use the five disciplines. Senge's system thinking can be applied to all organizations. He emphasizes on the need not to focus on the small picture, but to see the effect of how one problem can affect a vast number of people, using a systems approach to build learning organizations. A learning organization, as defined by Senge, is an organization where people are continually learning. It's an organization that acquires knowledge and innovates fast enough to survive and thrive in a rapidly changing environment. Senge's five disciplines are personal mastery, mental models, shared vision, team learning, and systems thinking. They can be applied to education, to corporations, and agencies. Personal mastery is the first discipline, and it actually requires from an individual to have an inner drive to improve and to achieve goals. Mental models are ideas and pictures that are in one's mind that make that person, that stop that person from achieving his goal. A shared vision. A shared vision is basically the picture of a future. It's a picture of how people can change their destiny. It's a common identity and sense of destiny that actually drives people to do better. Team learning. Team learning refers to the willingness to work efficiently as a team and to embrace dialogue. Systems thinking is the discipline that examines the linkages and interactions between the other disciplines. An organization that is going to succeed is an organization that is based on creating the culture of learning, discovery, and service. In order to create a learning organization that is successful, disabilities in organizations need to be identified. Senge's identified 7 learning disabilities. They can be summarized as basically people looking up for their positions and having little respect, a little sense of responsibility for results. It's also when people are waiting for someone else to do their job. And it's also when people teams maintain the appearance of cohesiveness to hide issues, and when people are only thinking about short-term events. Our schools learning organizations. Systems thinking in education involves strategic leadership and decision making. So we need to basically be able to answer all these questions in order to identify if a school is a learning organization. Are people focused on their positions? Are people only seeing short goals, only seeing short-term events? Learning organization in education. For school to become learning organizations, we need to utilize Senge's systems approach. In the Universal Design for Learning assignment, I designed a lesson on teaching geometry to all students regarding of their disabilities. The lessons were defined so that anybody can learn. The goals were flexible and the assessments as well. UDL and the 5 disciplines. UDL can actually can reflect the 5 disciplines as follow. Mastery is when student gain expertise. Mental models is when all the barriers are removed. The vision here is to create lessons that fit everybody, and team learning happens when students are put in group to work together. Systems thinking is the big idea. It's what we're trying to teach our students and what are the learning goals. The constructionist assignment was based on student doing something and constructing something. So this assignment was using a 3D printer to create geometric figures and also to learn and understand their properties. Constructivism and the five disciplines is as follow. Personal mastery happens when students are able to explore their own interest. Mental models is when the traditional instructional methods are changed to modern ones. The shared vision is how we teach students to think critically. Team learning is social learning where students are put in groups to learn together and from each other. Systems thinking is the learning goals. What are the learning goals that we're trying to teach our students? The flipped classroom assignment was an assignment that was based on teaching students to basically use class time or classroom as a cooperative learning environment where students are basically put in groups to discuss and have interaction with the teacher. It's a student-centered model, and students have control over time, pace, and learning. The instruction is delivered online. In this assignment, the flipped classroom assignment, we designed media resources that can be used online. The five disciplines can be seen as follow. Personal mastery, students become have control over their learning and therefore can control their learning when it happens and how much of it can they get. Mental models is the technology. The technology has to improve and to be available in order for the flipped classroom to work, but it shouldn't be a reason why students cannot be given this model of instruction. The vision here is engagement. Team learning happens when students in class are put in groups to discuss ideas and solve problems. And systems thinking is when all these elements are put together to reach the learning goal. Systems thinking in education. In order for schools to become learning organizations, we need to be able to answer all these questions. Is when we have a shared vision, when the mental models are identified, when students are able to work in groups and as a team, and when students are given the opportunity to master content in the classroom. As a conclusion, in order for schools to become learning organizations, we have to use Senge's five disciplines. We have to achieve personal mastery, avoid becoming, avoid having mental models like as barriers. Students we should have a shared vision so students can all succeed in class regardless of disability. This ends this presentation.